I can look at myself right now and I can say, yeah, my hair kind of looks like crap. And, but somebody else might not say that to me. Um, People say that they want honesty all the time, right? Like it's this universal value that everybody's rallying around. Excuse me. Just be real, I say. Just say what you really think, because, we're all adults here. I used to believe that too until I started paying attention to what actually happens when someone actually is in a real way, like actually being real in a way that doesn't fit the room's expectations. Because this is what I notice: people don't want the truth in general. They want the truth that lines up with the story in their head that they've already made up. So if you say something too honest, and it happens to match what everybody thinks about a situation or a person or whatever, everybody applauds you and calls you brave. But you get called a real one. But say the same exact kind of honest thing in the same tone, the same energy, same, even with a smile on your face, except this time it goes against the narrative, then suddenly you're a problem, negative, you're hateful, you're not being kind, you're doing hate speech, whatever. It's funny how that works, It's almost like honesty was never the real value. It was just confirmation. Confirmation was the value that everybody wanted. And honesty just happened to be the delivery method where, you know, people just find how they agree with other people and makes them feel good about something. Think about like group chats for a minute, say somebody says something who very bluntly about somebody or a friend or whatever, somebody that's not there in the group chat. And if it matches the general consensus of the group's existing idea of the person or opinion of the person, it becomes a whole moment, everybody's laughing, they're adding on, piling on this one. But if you're blunt about somebody in the group and the group actually likes the person on their side, then all of a sudden it gets quiet, people start doing that thing where they're like, well, that's kind of harsh though. You're being a bit mean. Aren't you being like a little too excessive? That's a bit much. Same bluntness, it's a completely different reaction though. Because the group wasn't actually rewarding the honesty. They were clapping for the being in agreement with their opinions. And this happens online constantly too. Like you'll see people say that they want creators to be authentic and unfiltered. But then the moment that the creator says something that is unfiltered and the audience doesn't agree with their worldview, then suddenly the authenticity isn't cute anymore. It's like, wow, you're being hateful. We didn't need to know that. Or all of a sudden, oh, this person's changed. Maybe you should just stick to the things that you're good at. Don't need to put your views on us. And it's wild because 2 videos ago, the same audience was begging for a more real, authentic perspective of that person, They wanted more raw, more unscripted thoughts, but what they really meant is they only want it real if it's in the direction that they already agree with. Even in relationships, this shows up a lot. Somebody says, oh, I want you to be honest with me. I just want you to be real. Tell me what you really think. Tell me what's truly on your mind. And they mean it, they really do believe that they mean it when they say that. Only until the moment that the honesty that their partner gives them is something that they don't want to hear. And then the moment that they hear the honest take that they don't really want to hear, and all of a sudden honesty becomes this whole conversation about tone, the way you said things, or you said things at the wrong time, or didn't it need to be said at all, or oh, is that what you really think, It's not that the honesty was wrong, it's just it didn't flatter that person's idea of the relationship that they were emotionally invested in. Um, it's kind of funny, in a sad way, I guess. This makes real honesty a really risky move in society because you never actually know if the room or your audience really wants the truth, or um, or do they just want you to support what everybody already feels and everybody already thinks. So a lot of people just try to read the room first. Some people learn how to read the room first and then decide on how honest to be in order for things to land well. And that's actually the complete opposite of what honesty is supposed to be. I think that's why boldness gets praised selectively. Somebody can be loud and apologetic, brutally direct, and get celebrated for it as long as they're aiming at the direction that is an improved target. The moment that they aim at somewhere that's not approved or socially acceptable, then the same crowd that called them truth tellers starts calling them toxic. And then, yeah. So I feel the next time somebody says, just be honest with me, it might be worth asking, honest about what exactly? What exactly is it that you want me to be honest about? Because most people don't really know whether or not they actually want the full range of truth. Usually they want that specific slice of truth that they want to hear that makes them feel like that they were right the whole time. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my stupid thoughts.